It started with a plain white envelope slipped into my mailbox. Notice of violation, non-compliant exterior fixtures. That was how the Glenwood Heights HOA referred to my brand new solar panel system. I'd installed it on my south-facing roof after months of research, planning, and saving. Clean energy, no monthly electric bill, and a net metering arrangement with the local utility. But apparently, none of that mattered to the HOA. The letter demanded I remove the panels within 14 days or face daily fines of $150. I stared at it for a while, then I smiled. They had no idea who they were messing with. Greg Holt was a retired insurance lawyer with a buzz cut and a superiority complex. He wore golf polos in winter, drove a Tesla he didn't understand, and treated the HOA like his personal fiefdom. He claimed the solar panels violated the community's architectural harmony. I'd argue my neighbor's neon pink flamingo collection did more harm to the neighborhood's aesthetic than a few black rectangles on my roof. Greg didn't care. To him, solar was political, and politics in his mind had no place in Glenwood Heights, unless he was the one setting the policy. Greg was smug, but I was informed. What Greg didn't realize was that our state had passed a Solar Access Protection Act in 2018. It guaranteed homeowners the right to install solar systems, regardless of HOA restrictions, provided they met certain safety and visibility requirements. Mine did. I had permits, inspections, approval from the city. So I filed a cease and desist letter, citing the state law. I also copied the State Department of Energy and the local news. Greg's next move was priceless. 3 days later, a man in a safety vest showed up claiming to be a county inspector. He wanted access to my attic, said he needed to verify fire separation compliance. I asked for ID. He didn't have any. Turns out, Greg had paid a private contractor to pose as an inspector in hopes of finding something, anything, to invalidate my installation. That was illegal. I filed a complaint with the county and reported Greg for impersonation of a public official. Then, I installed security cameras. The next HOA newsletter had an entire page dedicated to me. Uncooperative resident endangers community standards. They claimed my panels posed a fire risk, that they were lowering home values, that I had endangered children by creating a blinding glare hazard. I responded with a fact sheet, UL certification, temperature studies, even a quote from the fire department. I hand-delivered it to every resident. Then I started offering free electricity to 3 elderly neighbors on fixed incomes. Their power bills dropped by 80%. Word spread. A local news channel picked up the story after seeing my public post online. HOA fines resident for going solar. Is it legal? The segment aired that Friday. They filmed the panels, interviewed the neighbors I was helping, and even caught Greg on camera when he tried to shoo the reporters off HOA property. It backfired. The video got 3 million views. Comments poured in. The mayor's office even issued a statement affirming solar rights. While the drama unfolded, I worked on my ace in the hole, designation as a microgeneration site. My system was already large, 10 kilowatts, with a battery bank and inverter system. I upgraded to 15 kilowatts and added emergency backup infrastructure. Then I applied for state recognition as an emergency support node under the Resilient Grid Act. 3 weeks later, approval came through. I was now an officially registered community power support station. Greg's jaw hit the floor. Greg called an emergency HOA meeting to amend the bylaws, retroactively banning all unsightly rooftop devices. I showed up with 2 attorneys, a representative from the State Solar Energy Council, and a letter from the governor's office. I read aloud, "The state recognizes my name as a protected operator of renewable infrastructure. Any action against their system may result in civil penalties." The vote failed. Section 9, Public Opinion Turns. Residents began approaching me to ask how they could install their own systems. Within 2 months, 4 more homes had solar panels. I held a free workshop at the library. 60 people attended. I gave away solar calculators, guides, and contractor referrals. Greg started receiving calls from residents demanding he stop interfering with energy independence. Turns out, Greg had been misappropriating HOA funds, using the legal defense budget to fight personal grudges. When the treasurer discovered it, she resigned and leaked the audit. An emergency recall vote was held. Greg lost. He moved out a month later. With Greg gone, I proposed something bold. turning Glenwood Heights into a certified green community. We'd offer HOA incentives for residents to go solar, replace lawns with native plants, and install rain barrels. The new board approved it unanimously. Within a year, 60% of homes had solar. The very system Greg tried to ban had now made our neighborhood the most energy-resilient block in the county. During a major storm that winter, when the city grid went down for 18 hours, Glenwood Heights stayed powered. Why? Because we had distributed microgeneration. And it started with one house, mine. I received a community service award from the state. Our neighborhood was featured in a national clean energy spotlight. And my daughter, she wrote her school science paper on how my dad helped save the grid. Section 14, Legacy and Panels. Sometimes I sit on the porch and watch the sun hit those sleek black panels. They reflect not just light, but determination. Resistance. Proof that when you fight for what's right and back it with facts and calm, you win. The HOA wanted me to take them down. Instead, we built something stronger. Subscribe to DD Stories for more real HOA revenge stories, where the light always wins.